The first stanza of this poem begins by emphasising the ramshackle and disordered nature of the living spaces within the slums, with their lack of straight lines. The alliterative phrase, beams balance crookedly, shows how unstable these buildings are, emphasised by the verb crookedly. Nothing has any sense of order. Darker uses an interesting image of the buildings in the line, nails clutch at open seams. The personification here shows the nails desperately clutching onto the materials holding these buildings together, as though trying to heal the wound that has been opened. However, as I said in the previous video, this stanza ends with a sense of hope. The buildings lean dangerously towards the miraculous. The narrator comments here that it is a miracle that these buildings stay up, and even more of a miracle is that people live amongst them. The second short stanza implies a lack of delicacy of the buildings, with their rough frames, and moves towards the people living in the slums having squeezed in a living space. The verb squeezed can be seen as a reference to the vast number of people living within these small and treacherous spaces. The final stanza draws on a simple everyday object, eggs. Someone has dared to place these eggs in a wire basket. The verb dared hints at the bravery and boldness of the people living within the slums, and that these eggs can be seen to represent hope and courage. They can be symbolised as an act of faith and the start of a new life. However, we are reminded that they are also fragile curves of white, which can be easily broken, suggesting that this faith and hope can also be easily shattered, and they hang over the dark edge of a slanted universe. The slanted universe reminds us again of the instability of the living space, but also hints at the inequality in the wider world when it comes to poverty and living conditions. The narrator makes reference to light and dark in this final stanza, and the white eggs stand out against the dark edge. The optimism presented through the eggs has religious connotations, as they are regarded as bright, thin walls of faith. Despite the fragility of these homes, the eggs symbolise faith in a new life, a faith in a better future for these inhabitants.